You are now listening to the Procrastination Radio Show. I'm your host, Ian Complex. For today's episode, I wanted to revisit an older conversation I had with Dimithry Victor. This happened almost 3 years ago now and was one of the first examples of me really noticing what I wanted the show to become. From the research to the conversation to the pacing of the interview, this was and still is one of my favorite conversations on the show. So, I hope you enjoy Dimithry Victor in conversation. If you're listening to this podcast right now, chances are you and I have a few things in common. One of which might be being a creative. And as a creative, there are some things we can't afford to lose out on, and a very big one is energy. But not just any energy, something clean and natural that doesn't leave you crashed out in the middle of your workday. That is honestly why I use Magic Mind. It's an amazing energy elixir that is about the size of a shot that I take every morning to guarantee that I am fully prepared for my day. It's filled with amazing ingredients like matcha, ashwagandha, and lion's mane to fully support your body throughout whatever your day has to offer. Right now, if you go to magicmind.com/procrastination-radio and use code procrastinator20, you can get up to 56% off your subscription for the next 10 days. That's procrastinator20. You can get 56% off your subscription in the next 10 days. Let's get energized together with Magic Mind. Dimithry Victor, welcome to Procrastination Radio.
What's up?
How you doing? How you been?
I've been pretty great actually.
You've been good. I'll be seeing the fist you putting on Twitter and everything. It seemed like you feeling good. You looking good too, man. It's cool.
You know what they say, like you look good, smell good. It just everything kind of it makes you it's great. I don't know, bro. I don't know how to explain it. Like when I dress nice, I just feel great all around. When I smell
No,
good, I feel
exactly.
great.
No, it's super true, man. I'm so excited for this conversation today because I'm like a genuine fan of you and your work. I think even more so a fan of your Twitter because it gets really crazy with there sometimes. Under all of the art, and I kind of wanted to start off this interview with asking you. I remember one time, it was like a while ago, you mentioned that you kind of started this art thing because your parents didn't get you something. I'm not sure what you said it was.
Oh yeah, because I was obsessed with music, so I really
Right.
wanted to do music, not
Yeah.
like art.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like creating in general, and I really
Mm.
wanted a piano. Like I really wanted a piano so badly. But they had just come to this country because my parents, they're from Haiti, and they had just
Okay.
like moved over here, so they
Yeah.
didn't have like a lot of money to spend on like recreational activities and like stuff to give
Right.
me. So they didn't buy me a piano, and I was like, damn. It's like, what can I do to express my creativity? And the cheapest thing I could find was literally just like picking up a piece of paper and just drawing on it. So that's what I went with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So from there, was it did it take a while for you to like detach from the music dream? Like, y'all, I'm trying to be at the Grammys and stuff. Y'all not really.
Nah, bro, I was still obsessed with it for years. I was like, dang. And I even had a phase where I tried to be like a producer, like make beats and stuff.
Yeah.
But at that point, I had like done art for so long and I had already been good at it. I was like, why am I doing
Right.
this? I might as well just keep doing the art. So I just kept doing that.
Uh, so were you like self-taught all the way through, or did you go to like, or have any classes on the side, or were you just like trying to like look up the YouTube videos and stuff? Like, what was your process when you were trying to understand your desire for the art?
Um, well, yeah, it was mostly self-taught. Like I would like just watch things like on YouTube or like
Mm,
I would like copy what I see or I would like just look at real life and then just draw based off of that. I don't
mm,
know. I kind of could just like look at something and then just recreate it. For some
mm,
reason, I'm not really sure what that's called, but I just had a knack for that. So anytime I would see something, I could make exactly what I see, and so I would just go from there.
mm. So, what did your personal want to just be creative drive you, or was it like maybe like the reactions of people, or was it like kind of married together, or was it something completely different that was like pushing you to creating that way?
Well, I was interested in it, but
Mm.
then I guess like once I saw the reactions that people had from it, then I
Yeah.
was just like, from there I was like, oh, I gotta do this, cause like, bro, one time cause I was obsessed with comics, I drew
Yeah.
Iron Man, and this was
Yeah.
like when the first Iron Man movie came out. I went to school, I came with it, because somebody said, oh, I want to see your drawings, bro. The whole class was hyping me up. I was like, damn, like yo, I felt amazing, cause it's like mind you, I couldn't get the newest shoes. I couldn't get like all this
Right.
fancy
Right.
stuff. So like the only thing I had was my drawing. So it's like
Wow.
that was the only thing that was impressive enough to, that could, I guess, help me fit in, because I didn't really
Yeah.
feel like I
Yeah.
fit in like that much. Because they would call me a nerd like other times, because I would get A's on my tests and stuff, and they're like,
Right.
"Oh, you're just a nerd. You like school and stuff." So like the drawing thing was like the only thing that could make them think I was cool. So I was like, "All right, I gotta do this. I gotta do this."
How long did that kind of not limbo, but that kind of era of you kind of trying to figure it out until you kind of realize like I can make something out of this. Like this is gonna be what I want to do for the rest of my life.
It was like when I started learning about like visual artists,
Mm.
because one thing I did notice is like in terms of art, like visual art is like the least accessible, and that I've noticed, because music,
Mm.
anybody can listen to music. Everywhere you
Right.
go, there's
Right.
music.
Right.
Same thing with like movies and animation and stuff like that. But visual art, you don't really know that much about it. So
Mm.
I didn't really care for it, because I was like, okay, like nobody really cares for it. Like I don't really see what's the importance of it. And then I started like actually searching up artists and seeing the impact that they have like on everyday life. And I was like, oh
Mm.
wow, like this could really help people, and this really changes and affects people. So I was like, oh, maybe I should try doing it too.
Mm.
And like as I got older, like I said, I didn't feel like I fit in, and I was like, all right, so I gotta figure out how to get these emotions out somehow. And I
Mm.
know people usually do it with music, so I was like, all right, let me try doing it with art instead. So
Right.
then that's when I kind of changed it to where like every time I make a piece, I kind of try to like put in how I feel in it, because
Mm.
that was the way I would get it out. Because I'm not a very like um open person when it comes to my emotions. I don't know if it's
Mm.
because I'm a guy, or what, but
Mm.
I felt like that was the only way I could really tell people how I feel.
Get that out, yeah. And it's so like the way from the time that I've known of you, it seems like it's just been like exponential growth to like this very like complex but very like understanding way that like your like art comes off.
Hmm.
And it makes sense as you say like that's one way to bring out your emotions in the art. But what is the process of you going from like this is just an idea, a sketch I have, to be like I can pour something, a life experience into this and make this more than what it is right now?
Mm. Oh, well, okay. I actually do have a process. This is crazy, because nobody's ever actually asked me what my process was
Let's
like.
go. Let's go.
So pretty much like I have rules pretty much. So the first rule is to just live life.
Yeah.
So I think it's impossible to like come up with ideas unless you're living life, because you have to have new experiences to, to draw from when you're making stuff, right? Like you
Right.
can't just keep making the same thing over and over. So I
Right.
always make an effort, like every single week, I'll like try to do something new, or I'll try to go like on these
Mm.
mini adventures like with my friends and stuff like that, because I always want to like, experience things, because I feel like
Right.
me staying at home and like doing the same thing over and over again isn't gonna like get that out of me. Like I have to
Right.
like
Right.
try new things, right? And then from there, after that, like I kind of like sit down and just see how I'm feeling, and then I always have like inspiration around me, because
Mm.
I even have a second page for it, because I have that many like inspirations.
Right. I was about to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that page is like basically it's for inspiration. Like all I have a bunch of inspiration, so I'm always looking at art. Like I look at um fashion designs, like
Mm.
films, cinematography, photography, sculpture, like anything I could possibly see, like any type of art, t-shirts, anything. I'm
Right.
always constantly looking at it. So like always like, oh, that's a cool idea. Like,
Mm.
what if I put my own spin to it? And then from there, I just kind of I mix in like what I experienced that week with the stuff that I've been looking into with my own style, and then just kind of mix everything together, and it comes into this whole new thing.
That's that's a crazy way to think. I've never like I've heard people speak about it, but I haven't like seen it put into like into work like this. But like how far are you going with the like I need to do something new this week? Is it like I'm gonna go jump off a cliff, or is it just like I'm gonna go walk at a park because I'm bored today?
Um, I think I kind of get extreme with it sometimes. Even my
Okay.
girlfriend says that. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I think I posted one time like I wanted to do this thing called like flyboarding, where like
Yeah.
they put like these machines on your feet and basically you fly in the sky like Iron Man, but it's like with water. So sometimes I get kind of extreme with it, or like sometimes I like be like, oh, I want a mountain bike, and then I like
Yeah.
fall or something. Like one time I was like, oh, I need a mountain bike this week. I don't know why. I just want a mountain bike, and
Yeah.
so I was an idiot and I was like, oh, I could go down this incline. And I go down this incline, bro. I almost hit a tree, but on the bright side, I got an amazing idea from it, so
Right.
it was all worth it. It was all
Your
worth
arm
it.
fell off like, yo, but look, I could do this now. Like I can make some art now, y'all. Y'all gotta appreciate that I can do this.
Yo, that
That's
adrenaline really gets you. It gets that inspiration coming out of you.
in the moment, just taking out the pen and pencil, like, yeah, we gotta do this right now. So was your trip to California like a thing of you wanting to get more inspiration and getting out of Florida and stuff?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I wasn't even planning on going actually. Like somebody
Mm,
was and my girlfriend was going at first, and then she was like,
mm,
"Oh, you want to come?" And at first I wasn't going to.
yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? I might as well. Like,
Right.
I don't care. I just kind of say like, screw it, and I went.
Right.
And then yeah, when I went, bro, it was beautiful. Like, I was honestly, I wouldn't even mind living there. I've been thinking about
Mm,
going back or just like living there because it was beautiful. But I've gotten a lot of inspiration like after going there.
mm. So that's since you bring that up, have you gotten any like super life affecting inspiration from Florida, or are you of the mindset of like I gotta get out of Florida as soon as I can?
Um, nah, I mean, I think Florida, like, I get a lot of inspiration from Florida. It's just
Mm.
like, I don't want to sound mean, but I feel like people, I feel like people here don't take things as seriously as they should, or
Okay.
like they're not as helpful as they should. Like I know a lot of people that if an opportunity comes, even if they can't, personally do it, they'd rather take it for themselves because they see it as like, oh, it's a good opportunity for me, and
Right.
instead of giving it to somebody who's actually skilled in that field because they
Right.
think like, oh, they need to like make it, and that's I don't like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like I'll try to reach out. I mean, I remember last year I used to try to reach out to so many creatives, bro,
Mm.
and like they didn't even care. Like they'd either like say, "Yeah, I'm down," and then just completely ghost me, or
Right.
like they keep trying to bring up things. Oh, let's do this, let's do that, and then nothing comes out of it. And then
Right.
the next thing I know, I see them like doing the same idea I just had,
Or
and
somebody
I'm like,
else.
"Yeah," I'm just like, "Are you
Yeah.
serious?" And then, but then it's like, okay, like this year when they saw me selling a lot more, then they all want to hit me up like, "Oh, bro, we should work together,"
Right.
like this, that,
Right.
and I'm just like, I don't really like that. Like
Right.
it like I feel like if you're gonna work with somebody, it's just because you like what you do, not
Yeah.
because you're just trying to like get ahead all the time. Like it's
Right.
cool to get ahead, but I feel like here it's too much like that. Like nobody's really looking out for you unless you make it by yourself.
Right. Yeah. And that's a weird feeling when when you are having to make it by yourself and kind of like look out for yourself more. As soon as it's like you said, as soon as you get on, like people are starting to like trying to be, yeah, bro. But remember this thing I did and we did it. And we could like let's try to
Hmm.
bring it back up. But that's one thing I appreciate about you on your Twitter. Like every time you retweet an artist or you're interacting with an artist, or even if it's like some funny stuff, like I'm amazed that it's like a bunch of like people who I've been following for so long. Like you're just like just tapping in with them on some like casual stuff. Um, and it's like none of y'all have like big heads about it. Like you're just like we're all talented people, and we like talk to each other about stuff. Like, was that easy for you? Because you seem to not have a problem with it, but was it like easy for you getting into kind of um that kind of like I don't know, not Twitter art space, but that kind of like network of people that are just like hyping each other up? Like, was it hard to get in there, or like,
Nah, it wasn't too hard, bro. I didn't even know it existed. Like I found out like late about it because I wasn't even
yeah,
really on Twitter like that. And then I think I was following somebody, and then they were saying, "Oh, who wants to be in our group chat?" And I was like, "What the hell? Like,
mm,
our group chats exist?" So I was definitely down. And then
right,
like once I got in there, bro, everybody was just like they loved me. So I was like, "Okay, I like this." And then from there, I just kind of kept interacting with them. But they're really nice people, so it's really
Yeah.
not hard at all. I see some people like they'll say, "Oh, it's so elitist how like these big artists, yada yada," yada. But like, I don't think that they're elitist. Like they help a lot. Like if you send them
Right. No,
something,
yeah.
even if they don't know you, like you could be like, "Oh, can you share this?" And like they'll share it for you. They might have like
Yeah.
100,000 followers and they'll still share it for you. Like I don't.
Yeah.
So they're very nice people. They've helped me a lot, but it was pretty easy because I feel like most artists have like the same type of mentality. Like they can
Right.
talk about the same things. You're really interested in the same things. Like, bro, look at the Tyler the Creator album, bro. As soon as that
Yeah.
thing came out, every artist I know was talking about that
It
thing,
was crazy.
right? Everybody, every single artist. If you make any type of art, you were talking about it. So it just goes to show like everybody who's an artist has the same type of like things that they're interested in.
Yeah.
So it's really not hard, in my opinion.
I think a lot of artists, including me, because sometimes I don't really, not that I don't understand Twitter, but I just be like I'm gonna not overdo it, because once I start doing it, I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna go all the way in. Um, but like I think a lot of artists are scared of the. It's kind of vulnerable. It's like a vulnerable
Mhm.
place to be, because there really is no filter on there, and people are gonna be like, "This sucks," or like, "This is really good." Like, let's link and do some stuff. So how how have you kind of learned to face criticism, um and then take on people acknowledging your work at the same time, and kind of being able to move forward with both of those things happening at the same time?
Well, I mean, honestly, bro, most of my life, like people have been telling me like, being an artist isn't even like a valid career path. So I
Mhm.
was so used to rejection
Yeah.
that like I had when I started actually using Twitter, uh, I was at a point where like I just didn't care. It's like,
Mm.
what are you gonna tell me that I haven't already heard? Like you could tell me that I'm weird, but I've heard that like 20,000 times. You could tell me
Right,
my art
right.
sucks, but I've already heard that. Like there was nothing I feel like at that point that you could tell me that would like make me feel insecure in who I am. Because it's like I've gotten this far, being myself. So why would I
Right.
stop because of some people that I don't know? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the people there are cool, but at the end of the day, I always got to remind myself, like, these people are just behind the screen. What they say
That's
has no
true.
effect on me. Like, it's not
That's
gonna.
true.
It only hurts if I allow it to hurt me. So I
Yeah.
didn't really care.
Mm. And like, with more attention coming to your work recently, um how has that kind of affected the your work ethic? Like, has that changed how you approach stuff in any way? Because there's like more eyes on you. Do you feel like is anything at risk, or are you just like, I'm gonna go into it even harder now that I know that like I got little people watching out and stuff?
Uh, but honestly, nah. I feel like I said, I had reached a point where like I was so used to rejection. Like I think I was
Yeah,
just prepared for it. Like I
that's
already
fire.
had a nice work ethic, so I was like
Yeah.
constantly making things when I could. Like
Mm,
even though like I'd be really busy, I'd still make it because I was just like that dedicated. So by the
right.
time the attention came, like I was prepared. Like yeah, I was already making prints. I already knew how to make a website. I already knew everything. So I already knew how to run a business. So by the time the attention did come, I was
Mm,
prepared. I was happy. I was like, finally, like
right.
I'm ready.
I think a lot of people can learn from that, because I think the fault, especially with today, I think a lot of things come a lot faster to people, because social media is so quick with attention span and everything,
Hmm.
that sometimes people get picked up and then they get carried away into like a bunch of people looking at them, and they aren't really ready for the work that has to be done, with the staying up and the late nights, and the sometimes not getting money that you need right away, and having to do other stuff to like keep a day job. Like, I remember he was at Home Depot, like having to carry yourself in different ways to make sure that your passion is what's coming out and what's making you happy.
Yeah, bro,
Um,
I hated that job. I hated that job.
why did you like it? But they wasn't helping you out.
Man, oh my God. Bro, they would try me every time I walked through that door. Like I had coworkers that I liked, obviously,
Yeah,
but the management was just like, oh my God. Like I applied because I was working there as a cashier, right?
yeah,
And even from the first day I went to the interview, bro, like they was trying to get me to do a different job position that I had applied for.
Yeah.
And I guess they thought I was stupid or something. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. But they like insisted that I do this job. And I was like,
Mm.
nah. And then they finally hired me as a cashier. Come to find out that the job that they were trying to make me do
Yeah.
was like pushing cars, lifting all these like heavy stuff into people's car,
Oh
and
nah.
mind you, yeah, and it's like straight black young kids, and I'm like, yeah,
Oh no,
black young
bro.
boys, and I'm like, oh hell no, and
Damn, bro. What? They wasn't even like subtle with it. They was like, yeah. You black, so
yeah,
let's get this.
yeah, they saw a black young kid. It was like, yeah, we gonna make you
Wow.
work outside in the field. I'm like,
Right. Right.
you might as well just let me call you master at that point. Like,
Right.
what the
Right. At
hell?
that point, bro. That's
But
crazy.
yeah, and then like they wouldn't really work with my schedule, so I would often like miss a lot of opportunities, like a lot. So like there'd be
Mm.
events that I want to go to, I can't because I'm working. Um, I'd have like classes on my off days, and
Mm.
then like I'd have to work all weekend. So then I'd have to stay up all night like trying to make something just so I could post because if you don't use it, you lose it. So I don't want to
Right.
just like
Right.
not make anything for months and months. So I'm like trying everything I can, and it's like I have no time. And bro, it was I don't know, it got depressing after a while because I felt like I was stuck and I hated it. It was
Mm.
like every day, every week, it was the same cycle. I go to my classes, I do homework, and then I stay up all that night to make something. Then I go back to the job, and it's like you're doing the same thing every week, and you're just
Right.
like waiting for it to you're waiting for it to finally like
Get better.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same every week. It's the same thing. It's just like damn, like I got so defeated sometimes. I'm just like man.
Mm. That. So are you done with with Home Depot?
Oh yeah, I'm a full-time artist right now.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Round of applause for that. Let's go.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
go.
yes.
Um, yeah, no, it's been crazy like following you like this year, last year especially with the NFT thing. Like, congratulations on all that stuff, man. That's like
Thank you, thank you.
crazy, crazy. Like, how'd you get into that? Because I know it kind of like came really swiftly into like all the social media space, and then it kind of just like blew up out of nowhere for a lot of people. So how was
Yeah.
that like for you?
Well, I had known about it for like a while actually, and my
Mm-hmm.
friends kept telling me to get into it like a
Yeah.
while back, like so, but I never did, and I was just like, because I didn't understand it, because it
Mm-hmm.
just didn't make sense to me. Like most people, it just doesn't make sense. I'm just like,
Right. Right.
I
Right.
don't get it. Like, are they buying the art or like, are they, like, what are they buying?
Yeah.
And so I only saw digital artists doing it, but mind you, all my stuff is like traditional. Like I paint and I draw. So
Right.
I'm like, how am I supposed to sell my stuff digitally
Right. If it's
when
not
it's like,
digital,
yeah, so I didn't get it. So I was like, I don't think that's for me. And then one day I was just like, I was bored. I was just bored. I was like,
yeah. Yeah.
let me do it.
Right.
So so then I did it, bro. I think the next day I put it up, bro. Somebody bought it. And I was like, what the hell? And
Wow.
mind you, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, oh, I was terrified because I'm like, bro,
Right.
am I supposed to sell the originals too? Like, what the
Right.
hell is this? So then, um, and then the same day I sold it, somebody else, I guess, who saw that I sold it, they're
Mm.
like, yo, put up another one right now. I'm gonna buy it. I'm like, no way. So I put it up, bro. Immediately they bought it, and I was like, oh snap, this
Wow.
might be the thing. So
Right.
then after that, like I just like not every week, but every couple of weeks, I would just put something up just to see like if it would sell, and
Yeah.
like boom, immediately it would sell. And the next
That's
piece I put up
insane.
immediately, and mind you, like they're using cryptocurrency, so like one Ethereum, I think at that time was like over $1,000. Um, so when I would put it up, I'm thinking, oh, like nobody has $1,000 to just spend like that, right?
Right.
But these people were just like paying a
Oh,
bunch of
dang.
money. Yeah, I was just like, what the heck?
Wow.
So I don't know. I guess I kind of got addicted to it at a certain point. I was like, damn. Because I had never sold my art for that much at that point. I
Right.
was
No,
like,
yeah, that's
damn,
a
I
crazy.
wasn't
Yes.
used to it.
Yeah.
And so somebody who was in the space, they told me like, if you see that your stuff is selling, then you can put it up higher. So like I would like gradually increase it to the
Yeah.
point it got to like $5,000, and then people were still buying, and I was like,
Wow,
what the
man.
hell? But yeah, at that point I was just like, dang, like I didn't think people were gonna value my art that much. But yeah, like it's a
Wow.
crazy thing. And then I guess I did it at the right time because I had just gotten into it before like it really, really blew up.
Right. Right.
So a few weeks after my stuff was like selling really well, then there was like a huge the huge Beeple sale happened, and then people were just like buying everything up.
Yeah.
So then at that point it's like I could sell things for like a lot higher. Like right now it's not as like, what's the word, like active.
Uh.
Like not many people are
Right.
buying
Right.
that
Right.
much right now.
Yeah.
I'm still selling though, but it's just it wasn't. I also got in at the right time, so it was easier to sell, I think.
No. Yeah. It was a crazy time because it was like everybody was trying to figure out. I'm still kind of off on like I'm not completely sure. Like, do you have to give the physical to them, or are they buying the digital?
Oh, they're just it's not even buying the digital, bro. It's like basically NFT is like, you know what a certificate of authenticity is?
Yeah.
It's like that. So pretty much you own you own like ownership of that digital object. So NFT is like a digital object. So when the person buys my NFT, they don't own the physical piece.
Yeah.
That's optional of the artist. They own that digital object, which is the NFT. So if I and I guess like because it transfers over, it's like the most secure way to prove that yes, I own that digital object. But
Got you.
you can choose to send them the physical piece as well. But it's
Right.
really up to you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we live in a
What?
crazy world.
That's insane. Nah, no, that's just so it's so crazy to think like people like how much stuff people can get into now that they could just make money from. Like that's
Yeah, that's the
amazing.
one thing I realized too, bro. Because I, like I said, I was so used to like not getting that much money from my stuff
Right.
that I was just like, man, it must be so hard to make money. But then it's like when you actually start making money, you realize like, damn, it's really not that hard to make money.
Right. Right.
It's like
Right.
you're doing it the wrong way, but then once you find the right way to do it, it's like it just comes so easily.
Right. Getting that pattern. Just
Yeah, like
start working for you. Yeah.
it's like a domino effect pretty much. Because like once I started, because I was gaining traction before I even sold it,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to like start selling NFTs and like, and I didn't even have anybody who was in it like following me. So,
Right.
but at that point, I was like, I had enough like I guess followers that I thought somebody would buy, like at least one person. So that's why I put it up, and I think that's when like it really started rolling. Because you gotta like know what you're doing. You can't just kind of just go into it. Because a lot of the thing, the problem is a lot of people, they kind of just go into it thinking, oh, everybody's selling, so I can do it
Right.
too.
It's gonna work. Yeah.
But it's not like, it's like every business. Like you gotta get a fan base, like the people that like your stuff,
Yeah.
that like actually buy your stuff on a consistent basis. And then it's like from there, okay, they buy your stuff on a consistent basis, so you'll know you'll have people to that'll buy your NFT too.
Right. And you're a buyer as well, right?
Yeah, I got too much art in my house right now.
So what makes an artist or an art stand out to you, and do you have to have a connection to the artist first? And if so, um like what is it that attracts you to certain artists or like certain people that you reach out to?
Honestly, bro, if it looks cool, I'm gonna get it. I mean, like
Okay.
although story also matters, but
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like when people are buying art, they just care if it looks cool. Like I
Yeah.
think I said something yesterday where I was like, people know what they like immediately. Like I feel like it's not
Right.
even a process. Like if you see something cool, you just know it. Like whether it be like clothes or like a TV show or like a movie or anything, like a car. Like once you lay your eyes on something, you should know like, damn, like I want that, like I like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is. Like when I see something that I like, I just know that I like it. The story and the person, like the artist behind it, kind of adds to it too. But
Mm.
if it looks good, I'm gonna get it.
Right. It's simple straight up. Like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copy it. So with your art then, do you have anything that's like this is purely because this looks cool. There's nothing behind it. Please, like, please enjoy this.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't do that no more. I
That's
don't.
interesting.
I can't remember. I think the only. Mm, I guess maybe the toy that I made recently.
Hmm.
I
Oh
guess could
yeah, let's talk about
be
that.
considered that. But I guess that's it. Like, bro, I've been so used to like making a story about everything that
Yeah,
I don't even think it's worth it to make something that like that
without
has no meaning to me, that has no
right.
importance to me.
So the toy was attached to the Smile More piece, right?
Yeah, yeah, because the small more piece, the painting, bro, that was legitimately how I would look when I was at work.
That's the
And
Home Depot. That's the new ad they should run.
Bro, it wasn't even just Home Depot. Like I worked other jobs before that, and I would
Yeah.
always look like that. Like I hated it. I hated it so much. Like they would just suck the energy out of you. I hated it. And there would be like these people like they would come up to me and be like, "Oh, you need to smile more." And I'm just like, "Man, if you don't shut up." Bro, I wanted to punch these people so badly. And it would be all these people telling me, "Oh, lighten up, like,
Yeah.
smile more." I'm just like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm not gonna smile more. What the hell?" And um yeah, and I was like, mind you, remember how I was telling you, like that was basically my life like every single week
Right,
where that
right.
would
In that
happen, right?
cycle, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, bro, like, I hate this. And I wanted to do something that was like, okay, that's all I've been thinking about. Because I had gone into an art block after I made that
Mm.
small more piece. And I was like, damn, I feel terrible
Right.
and I don't know what to make. So I was like, okay, maybe I can make the smile more toy because that like kind of encapsulates what I was feeling. So like the character is literally smiling more. He's in the chair. He's basically doing what people kept telling me to do, like a kind of faking
Mm.
it till you make it.
Hey, there's a story behind it after all, bro. You
Yeah.
said it
Oh
was
shoot, you're right.
look at that.
Damn,
Look at that, bro.
that's
But
crazy.
no, that was like a very cool journey to see. And I think the way you like handled it, because it didn't end up coming out, right?
Nah, man, I'm still pissed about that. I
So
had
what
everything planned.
if you want to talk about it, like what happened to the drop, right?
Yo, okay, so I had spent so much money, like
Yeah.
thousands invested in this toy, and everything was going to plan. And I
Mm.
did pre-orders, and I had already put in the order for like the toys so they could
Yeah.
come here. And then I got some in the mail, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because the whole thing was broken. Like not even I could just
Ah.
glue it back together. Everything was broken. Like there was no way I could even glue this back. The skin color wasn't right. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was a mess. And I was like, and then I contacted people, and I was like, "Bro, like, what the hell is this? Are you guys gonna send me a new one?" And these people was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to pay for us to make a new one." I'm like, "Why do I gotta pay for something that
Yeah,
you messed up?"
right, it's
Right?
broken.
And they're saying, "Oh, we already invested like all the money that you gave us into making the toy." And I'm like, "That's not the point. You guys messed it up. Like, what am I supposed to tell the people that already bought the toy? Like,
Right, right.
right? So, because I already spent the money, and I'm like, bro, what the hell am I gonna do?" And the sales kept coming in quick, so I'm like, all right, yo, this is bad because if too many people keep buying it, and
Right.
I got like $10,000 of people's cash sitting here, and I don't have the toys to give it, like I'm going to jail. Like, there's
Right,
no way,
right. This is a scheme, yeah.
there's, there's no way I'm getting out of this, right?
Yeah.
Mind you, there was big people buying this, so I was like,
No, yeah.
that was what pissed me off. I remember Demetrius Harmon bought one. The guy who makes
Wow, dude,
yeah,
that's crazy.
like
No,
he
the
DM'd
rollout
me
was
and it.
crazy. The rollout was fire.
Yeah, like what you gonna call it? That guy Cole Bennett, I think he was gonna get one too. Um
Damn.
Bro, and then Dimitri Harmon's like he got it immediately. Like this man, as soon as I put it up, he immediately got it. I was like, what the hell?
That's
And I was
wild.
like, damn, this is bad. This is real bad. Now, because mind you, it's great if he actually gets the toy, but he's got like over 1 million followers. So if he
Right.
says, oh, like Dimitri Victor scammed me, bro,
Right, it's your
they
boo,
gonna be
yeah.
on my ass. Like, so I was like, nah, I'm just gonna cancel the whole thing. So I had to cancel the whole thing. And like right now, I'm just figuring out either I'm gonna make a whole new toy
Yeah,
or I'm gonna try to do it again because I'm really stubborn. So I gotta find a way to like do it because
make it
I
work.
have to. Yeah, I had to.
That's wow. So they just was like, yeah, man, y'all like, yeah, we messed up, but that's your fault, bro.
Yeah, and they were saying they weren't giving me a refund. And I was like, what the hell? Like I was so ready to sue, but then I read the fine print and I was like, oh dang, I played
Oh, they
myself.
done finesse the finesse.
Yeah, because they were saying like, oh, no refunds because the money that you pay them they
Yeah.
put into making the toy, so they can't give you the money that they don't
Uh,
have.
yeah, cause they put it in. I mean, like you said, you got your eyes on new projects. Um, so to wrap it up, what do you see for yourself in the future, like with your focuses and everything, and your love for the history of art and all of that? How do you see yourself uh leaving that mark on like for your name and everything?
Well, I feel like what I've always wanted to do is
Mm.
kind of just take art to the next level because I feel like a lot of big artists they kind of just they like a lot of times you'll talk to people and they think visual art is pretentious, and I feel like I
Right.
kind of just want to like remove that that thought process, because I
Yeah,
feel like,
stigma. Yeah.
yeah, that stigma, because I feel like a lot of people can enjoy it. Like it should be accessible for everybody. Like I don't
Mm,
think I don't think a few artists should be selling like, these $1 million pieces, and you go into these museums and it's like, oh, it's the same people like with these conceptual art stuff, and it's like nobody gets it. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I feel
Right.
like there should be art for everybody. Like when I
Mm,
make stuff, I always keep in mind like how can this relate to somebody, because that's what I want to do. Like I want to relate to people. Like I feel that's what art should do. Like when you listen to music, the art that hits the most is the stuff that you relate to the most, right?
right. Right.
The same thing with like, film and stuff. So it's like, why is it with art? Like it's very few, like you don't really see it relating to people, especially black people. It's like, how many art
Right.
do you really see relating to black people? Like, even when I go into museums, I used to be so mad because like I'd go in and everything is about racism, everything's about slavery, everything's just like just depressing like
Yeah.
topics. It's like you never see anything that's like happy and like fun and magical, that's like about people of color in general.
Right.
And I hated this. I'm like, I just I want to make something that's just like fun, that's like everybody can like, that everybody can relate to, that when people look at it, they're like, oh, somebody gets me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they know
Wow.
where I'm coming from, because I feel
Yeah.
like that's the problem with visual art. Like there's so many things that we go through on a daily basis that it just doesn't cover. Like nobody really talks about how men don't really talk about their emotions much,
Yeah.
right? Nobody really talks about that in art. Nobody talks about how like women how they're catcalled. Nobody talks about like self-reflection. Nobody talks about like how depressing it is at work. You know what I mean? Like these are all
Right.
topics
Right.
that a lot of people can relate to, but it's never addressed. Like you'll see depression, you'll see stuff, but it's like it's coming from like a white point of view that I can't really
Right.
understand. Like it looks cool, but it's like
It's
that's
too
like a
far
old,
away. Yeah.
yeah, it's like an old white man telling me how he feels. Like how am I supposed to relate to that? I don't see any
Right.
like people like me in these spaces, and that's what I want. Like I want to be somebody that people can relate to, so they know like they can do it too. Because you know how it is like with the black community, like oftentimes we're left with no options, so we look up to the people that we see succeed, and a lot of times the only thing that you see is like, NBA players, like rappers, like all this stuff, and it's like, no, like you can do way more than that. You don't have to just be what the people think you should be. Like you could just
Yeah.
do whatever you want, because there's a space for you.
You wrote that speech, man. That was a that was
Nah,
that.
nah.
I can feel the passion. That's crazy.
Nah, bro, I didn't
Wow.
write that. That was all off top.
Nah, but that's so beautiful the way you put that, because it's like everything feels so far away. It's true. Like I've never thought about that. Like it's a place I don't tap into. Like music is one of my thing. Music is something I can dive into easily because there's almost, like you said, there's almost an experience for everybody, especially now with
Hmm.
music becoming so easy for people to make and put out. But like visual art is the stuff that's validated as good work is usually people trying to replicate a feeling that people that they don't understand are feeling, and then making so much money off of that feeling that they don't even understand, you know? But
Exactly. So I think that's something that's missing a lot, and
yeah,
I feel like the people that I know, like the other artists that I know, like they're gonna change that. But that's also what I'm trying to do too, because it's like somebody has to do it. Like you're
right.
telling me, I mean, Basquiat, I guess he kind of tried to do it,
Mm,
but even him, he was like scrutinized a lot until he, after
yeah,
he died, that's when he
yeah,
finally got, the huge recognition he deserved. But I'm not trying to do that, bro. I don't want to
right,
die and then people are like, "Oh my God, he's a genius." Like, no, like
right,
you
right.
should get your flower. You should get your, what's that quote? You should get your flowers while you can still smell it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I want. Like I don't want to be the first. I'm tired of hearing, "Oh, it's the first black person." Like, no, like that shouldn't be
right,
the
right,
case. Like this is
right,
2021. Why is there still, oh, the first black this, the first black that? Like, bro,
right,
we should be past that by now. Like I don't want to be the first black anything. I just want to be like me. That's
right.
the only thing that I want to be. Is like I should be me, and that should be good enough. Like I shouldn't have to stand up or be for a cause or like do anything. Like I should just be able to make what I feel and what I see and experience on a daily basis, and that should be fine. Because everybody else does it, so why can't I do
Man, that I'm really
it?
like I'm like taken back. I was like thinking
Did I
about
go?
my life, and
Did I go too deep? I would took
Nah,
it
bro.
then.
I might need a minute. This might turn into a therapy session. This Nah, man, because it's so crazy that there's so many hurdles for artists to have to go through, and then when they finally get there, the best thing people think they can do is be like, "Oh, you're just like this," or "You're like
Oh yeah.
you're like you're doing this. This is clearly a thing of this," and it's like, bro, I've worked my whole life to get to this point, to be myself, and this is the best thing that you can do to try to understand me and not take the time to understand. But no, man, that's crazy. Do you have any artists like off the top of your head? Like, I know this is kind of on the spot, but like that are doing that, who you think are doing that well, and who should get like some highlights on them, who can get their flowers right now?
Oh, okay. NK Jules on Twitter.
Okay.
Um, Shanti. Wait, how do you spell it? Shanti Unique, yeah, I think is. Hold up, now I gotta look. Yeah, Shanti
Yeah.
Unique is really good.
Yeah.
Um, let me see. Groovy Chai on Twitter is amazing. Like, they're amazing. Um, who else? Uh, one of my friends, Cora Lee. I
Mm,
think her Twitter handle is Jules May. She's really, really great.
mm.
Who else? I'm trying to like only think of like people of color because they need their
No, yeah,
flowers.
yeah.
Um, oh, Black Sneakers on Twitter is amazing. Like she's gonna be like one of the greats, I think. Yasnir is amazing. Who else? Oh, this guy, his name is Sahil. He's my friend, and
Mm,
his stuff is insane. Like he makes like the trippiest stuff I've ever seen. Like his name is Solo Saint on Twitter too.
mm.
Amazing. There's just people I can think of top.
Yeah, man. I mean, everybody need to go follow the socials. You heard this stuff. I don't think y'all should not be tapping in with what this man has to offer. But yeah, he's always retweeting and like reposting stuff and commenting under stuff. So like my feed is always like something you're going under. I'm like, damn, this is fire. Like, thank you for retweeting this. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say before we head out? I feel like you done gave the best speech of the year out here. But
Oh, I'm trying to think. I guess like um, well, it's gonna sound motivational. Oh my God, I hope this doesn't sound corny, but I guess pretty much is like don't don't wait for to do things because that almost happened to me where like I was in a position where I thought like, oh, I could wait and like do this when I'm like 25.
yeah,
And that's what people tell me like, oh, go to college, that'll be your backup plan, and then like
right,
when you're done, you can like, oh, do art full time, right?
right,
And
right,
that was the direction I wanted to go into, and then I realized like, yo, once you leave like school, like the real life hits you, like that's
right.
it,
The
like
trenches, yeah, trenches
that
pull
you
up on
just,
you.
bro, you in deep, like you can't
Right,
do nothing, right? So
right,
I'm like, damn, like. And I realized that like this year actually, and then that's when I just started going hard again. Because last year I was like, it's whatever. But it's like
yeah,
this year I was like, bro, I need this because it's like people don't understand that like when you spend so much time focusing on plan B, it becomes your plan A because you're not focusing on plan A no
yeah,
more. It's like
yeah,
you can't do it. And it's that's what I would say is like, yo, if you want to do it now because there won't be a better time to do it except now. Like, and that's it. I mean, you could
yeah,
really do whatever you want. As corny as it sounds, you really can. It's insane. I never thought I'd be doing this right now, but like in less than a year, I'm a full-time artist, so it really does
yeah,
work.
man. It's inspiration, bro. Thank you for coming on. Thank you so much for the conversation, man.
Thank you for having
Uh,
me, man.
yeah, it's been a pleasure. I've been trying to do this for a while. We need to link up soon. We in Florida.
Bro,
Uh,
yes. Yeah, are you in Broward or are you in
I'm in
Miami?
Broward. I'm in Broward.
What? Bro, I'm in Broward too.
The, which Home Depot did you work at?
The one in East Fort Lauderdale.
No, you right there too. You right there, right there. Okay. All right, we're gonna get off here and talk about Florida things. Hope you guys have a nice night. Whatever you're doing, stop procrastinating. Go follow this man. Go eat some waffles, I guess. Have a good day.
All right.
Pro Radio.